Okay, well, welcome everyone to another team hangout. Um, these are weekly sessions where we have different team members join us for these sessions to answer questions from the community. So this is the perfect place for you to get any updates or answer to any doubts or questions that you might have. This week we have with us Luca Franceschini, and he is the developer relations at Dusk. Welcome, Luca, again. Great to see everything's working.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
Hello, everyone. All good, all good. Nice to be here. Thanks for organizing it.
Of course, thanks for being here. Well, I think this is one of the first times that the community has the chance to hear more from you directly. So, for those that may not know who you are or may not know a lot about you, can you just give us a little introduction on just about yourself? Can you tell us about your current role at Dusk and what you mainly focus on?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm Luca, and I'm doing developer relations, which every company interprets as they want. Every organization, it's kind of a joker kind of position. Like each organization has it because of its own purposes. And when it comes to Dusk, this translates into creating the technical documentation and bouncing between different technical stakeholders, trying to help them with their queries, with the requests, and trying to fill up specifications, forms, so that like integrations can be done more easily. And also like saying BD, like business development part, but more on the DeFi side of things. So I'm not touching in general like institutions or the suites. I'm more on the like degen kind of vibe. Like it's at the end this translates like to like having keeping in touch and with organizations that are useful for us and that can help expand in our objectives. And before Dusk, I have also been doing developer relations in 3 different organizations, but mostly focused on the Cosmos SDK side of things. And before that, I was working on Hyperloop for also blockchain stuff, and I had a fun internship in the Barcelona Supercomputing Center for the Ethereum 2 research for like how the different Ethereum 2 clients would sync and which how much storage CPU they were consuming, like back then when it was called still Ethereum 2, like the upcoming proof of stake. And happy to be in Dusk, which I really like it, both in terms of objectives and technology, but also in terms of team members. Like it's really a blast to be here, and really happy.
Love to hear it. Love to hear. What would you say is like the most important thing or the most interesting thing that attracted you to join Dusk?
I think it's so. First of all, I've been really interested in zero knowledge proofs, and Dusk has been kind of a OG in the space because like the first Rust implementation of Plonk was done by Dusk. Then Dusk also co-authored the paper for the Poseidon Hash together with the Ethereum Foundation. And there has been some very important contribution in cryptography that Dusk did, so that definitely sparked my interest. And also when in terms of product, let's say, and the objective, like the perspective is very sober, so it's usually quite straight to the point in terms of lowering costs and settlement time for the exchange of securities, and using zero knowledge to do so. So I felt it was not so much vaporware compared to a lot of things you can find in the space. So I felt it was a good focus, and that also the effort was going in that direction in a coherent way.
Yeah, I feel you there. It's one of the things that attracted me as well. It's not just like you mentioned vaporware in comparison to what other people are trying to do, but there's a lot of great projects out there. But the fact that Dusk is trying to make a real impact for the long term for the financial sector is something really, really interesting. Well, thank you, Luca, for giving us a small introduction into what you do, what interested you in joining Dusk, and we can get into some of the community questions. Then we do have a couple of them, and then the first question is pretty straightforward. Now they're asking that as a little preface. Of course, there's a lot of different assets that Dusk could be tokenizing, and the question is, what type of RWAs will Dusk tokenize in the near future?
Yeah, so I cannot go very specific on this, because once we have it, we will announce those. But definitely, like we are looking at government bonds and money market funds, and there is quite some stuff happening that is really interesting. So it's gonna be at first money market funds, government bonds, and then we're gonna tokenize the MPEX bonds, and then and ETFs and any other stocks or assets. So I cannot give specific names, but like just hold your horses, and there's gonna be announcement when the time comes.
Right. I guess we're going to see exact type of assets once stock releases and things like that. That's going to be exciting. But still,
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
The main
All right.
thing is on waiting. Yeah.
Makes sense. The second question is: do the companies that you have contact with already have specific use cases they want to discuss or integrate, or are they more interested and curious to talk to have a first talk with Dusk and see what they can do together from a starting point? I'm not sure if that that question was too clear, but basically, yeah.
I think I get it, but if I don't, please tell me. But so like there are so first of all, MPEX is of course like the starting point for a lot of this, because it's like the fact that we are helping them is going to then be used as a very valid case study. So first of all, let's always remember that like one of these companies is actually MPEX, and so other than MPEX, there are I also work more on the DeFi Web3 side of things. So when it comes to like if the question is more related to institutions and TradFi stuff, then I'm probably not the best person to answer. But when it comes to other Web3 DeFi protocols and these kind of things, then some of them, especially the ones that want to get into RWAs or have their own niche, are actually really interested in what we are doing. And also I found myself needing to kind of educate, at least when it comes for the European market or legislation, about this, the LTTSS and native issuance and all these kind of things, because protocols or projects or organizations that are not necessarily so deep in RWAs, and they actually need to be educated about it. And so I would say, like, for the organization I talk with, it really depends. So there is a part that already is already interested in what we're doing. So, like, we are having some discussions about this, and another part that needs to be more educated. So I would say it depends on the company speaking, or the organization, if that makes sense.
Got it. Yeah. So I assume a lot of them might not have all the details when it comes to native issuance, from what I'm understanding, and the DLT TSS license, and I would assume that that's probably because a lot of them are just focusing on first, at least on tokenization, uh, and just having an asset that is um, backed by a real asset IRL, but not on native issuance per se, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Mm.
exactly. And on top of that, the DLT TSS framework is applicable on the European market, which also means that projects that are focusing on other markets maybe don't know about this. For example, this could be
Fair
also
enough.
an element.
Okay, thank you. The next question is, what are some of the technical stakeholders you've been in touch with? No names, but maybe you can tell us the type of companies or projects that you've been in touch with, and how are these conversations currently going?
Yeah, so, like, from my side, I'm more on the, again, Web3 DeFi side of things. So this is like the organization I speak with are within this domain, and I've been speaking with bridges, Oracle providers, uh, DEXs, lending protocols, like also some dApps. So I've been speaking with quite some of them, and now we are in the position of being able to commit to some of this of the outcome of these conversations. And yeah, so, like, I think once Dusk EVM is out and Stocks is out, then there's gonna be way more conversations happening, because then that's where we have actually provided not only a out of the box integration, like very easy with Dusk EVM, but also a first product that uses all the technology that has been built so far, and it's being used by a stock exchange. So that's definitely gonna raise way more interest. And but regardless, like, there is a lot of conversation already happening.
Okay, okay. Should we expect some of the partners that you're in talk with to launch after Dusk EVM, or in between Dusk EVM and Stocks, or are they something that we should expect after Stocks? If that's something you can tell us.
So there are some that should be able to launch at the launch of Dusk EVM, and and then there's gonna be some that's gonna launch between Dusk EVM and Stocks. And there is quite yeah, some cool stuff happening. So I cannot be very specific, but yeah, like, we have a very good Oracle provider, and like, there is more stuff coming on. So yeah, like, there is interesting stuff.
Good. I'm excited for it. Definitely am. All right. The next question is, and I'm not sure how much we can say about this, but let's see. Maybe we can get a little alpha hour, or let's see. Someone's asking, can we share how many partnerships are committed to actual TVL within the next weeks after the launch of Dusk EVM?
Tough to say. First of all, one thing to remember is that once Stocks launches, that is after Dusk EVM, then there's gonna be already some TVL on chain. So this is this is good to remember that we already have some TVL that we can put. Other than that, there are some interesting partnerships we are pursuing. Some of them have been already locked, and but yeah, like I honestly would wait for announcements.
Okay. I tried to pull you by the tongue to get some alpha, but I guess I'll have to just be patient. It's fine. I can do that a little bit more. It does sound like some very exciting things are happening or coming. That's going to be nice. Okay. The next question is asking around future events, IRL events, I assume. Are there any future events that Dusk will be attending?
So not for 2025, and we are planning 2026. There could be something on 2025, but like there is no certainty, and yeah. So far, I'm not sure, but it's more probable on 2026 than on 2025. And most probably, like at least myself, you should see me at ZK Summit or ZK Proof, most probably.
Okay, fun. Good to know. I'll put it in my calendar. Maybe I can fly in, and that would be fun. All right. I assume that probably the focus on the next quarter, at least, is more on the product side and getting that out, and that's why we don't focus as much on IRL events at this moment. But we should expect, like you mentioned, some in 2026. Okay. The next question is, what are you, as DevRel, most excited about, Dusk VM or stocks? And what about the partners?
So good question. I'm more excited about stocks, just because Dusk EVM I'm in for an objective that is like allowing easier integrations for everyone. But when it comes to real products, then that's when stocks comes in. And so, like for me, stocks is it can be a very important piece, and the first like spec product that it's working in this specific niche that Dusk is targeting. So I'm really curious to see like how MPEGs and stocks like how all this will happen. Like I'm really curious because there isn't examples that are easy to see around that. Okay, it's probably gonna be like this or like that, or these guys did it this way or blah blah. Like we are positioned to do a thing that is quite unique, and so like I'm way more excited for stocks than on Dusk EVM, just because yeah, the EVM itself, it's there are a lot out there. Of course, ours settles on Dusk, and it's good for Dusk. It's great for interoperability reasons. But yeah, I'm more excited about stocks. And for partners, there are a few that yeah, I'm really looking forward to see on chain, and we're gonna need to wait for announcements.
And here I thought something was going to be spilled. But yeah, that makes sense. Of course, since stocks is the product, it's going to be much more exciting of a launch and announcement rather than Dusk EVM. Dusk EVM, of course, it's exciting on its own, but stocks is going to be, as you also mentioned, used as a case study for future partners and discussions with more institutions. So there's a lot of possibility.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, in the sense I'm not downplaying Dusk EVM, because also that is quite an achievement, because also to settle on Dusk but have an EVM, it's also not trivial. And so yeah, like both are really important achievements, I think.
100%. The next question is, since we were talking about NPEX, this is perfect because the next question is asking, what can you say about the NPEX integration? Are NPEX systems currently being developed to use Dusk as the backend, or is that in the future work? And what is required for such a switch over? I know this is a bit more technical, but maybe you can provide some sort of insight here.
Um, I can say what I see, but I'm not the one that has fully visibility on this. So like I can provide just my humble DevRel perspective, but I'm not in the team that is doing that. But what I can say is that there has been an incredible progress in the last months, and I've heard also very good things about like the MPEX board and stakeholders, like giving feedback on stuff and chipping in with their requests and stuff like this. And I know that our team has successfully delivered on this and actually surprising them in a good way. So I'm not sure where in terms of like what's the status of it at the moment, what is done and what is missing. But yeah, what I can tell is that so far it has been like huge accomplishments also in terms of just like the performances for MPEX and cutting out so the time that was wasted on operations that were not needed. And so I've heard very good things. So yeah, this is what I can say.
Got it. So from what I'm hearing, Mpex is currently getting a lot of backend upgrades. Nice. The next
Yeah.
question would be, so someone's asking, I would like to hear Luca's perspective on how the Web3 space has developed over the past years. Do you think it is already matured enough to be taken fully credible by outside institutions? And what are still the main hurdles to get around?
That's a wonderful question. Uh, that's a wonderful question. So I would say that it has definitely evolved quite a lot. Uh, at the same time, like in some parts, it didn't change much, and still it's quite immature for certain aspects. And like the opportunity and what's gonna more or less happen is relatively clear for to major, I don't know, stakeholders, people, government, whatever. So now it's just a matter of who is gonna pull off certain things that will be embedded in what we call the future of finance or whatever. So like the key elements are there, I think. And in that sense, like the space evolved compared to years ago. On other things, I think it's still relatively immature, like to be taken seriously. But it's just a matter of time, and it's just a matter of the right teams providing the right product that solve the right problem. And but these are already ingredients that are out there. So yeah, so I hope that answers.
Yeah. I mean, it is good to see that the space is evolving and that it is getting taken more seriously, by institutions, and institutions are looking into blockchain solutions. And in time, we'll have more integrations, as you mentioned, more teams develop more serious and relevant products uh, mar- for market adoption. Makes sense. The next question is, in your perspective, what is the overall team sentiment regarding Dusk and the future of Dusk? You kind of went over this a little bit, but just if you like to make a conclusion or reiterate it.
Yeah, for sure. The overall sentiment would definitely depend on who you are asking to. But like for like based on the conversation I had and based on like my understanding of where are we going and what are the missing pieces, like I think Dusk is playing in a very niche domain, which I think it's a subset of RWAs in general. And I think that with the technology that Dusk provides and specific collaboration with MPEX and this whole regulatory focused approach, there is definitely a good market share that Dusk can get. And even in the scenario in which is not, let's say, the ultimate protocol that takes all the RWAs and securities on chain, like there is still a very big market that can be captured, I think. So, and just the fact that a lot of organizations need to be educated on RWAs, or they're still somehow trying to do stuff but not fully understanding the implications, stuff like this. I think that this shows that there is a lot of knowledge in house that is getting then used to do the technology that Dusk is providing, which makes my sentiment go higher, of course.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Thank you. Now we have two more questions. So just want to let anyone that's in the audience right now, if you guys have any follow-up questions, please feel free to drop it in chat, and we'll get to it at the end. But we have two more questions, Luca. The first one is: since the product isn't live yet, how do you approach potential partners or users, and what kind of conversations are you having?
That's a good question, which yeah, also it's a good question because it shows that there is an understanding of the difficulties that sometimes the BD team like is incurring in. So it's the conversations are mostly about integrations and issuance of assets, even if the integrations and it's actually a bigger piece, at least from the conversation I'm having. So it's usually conversations are around what are the requirements to have a product on Dusk, or to have Dusk supported on a specific platform or protocol, and basically understanding what are the requirements from a technical perspective, from a liquidity perspective, and all this kind of stuff. So of course, like making it clear about the position that Dusk is in, and the strength that an organization like MPEX can offer to Dusk and to every partner that gets into in the middle of this.
Makes sense. Got it. Now, the last question is still around BD activities. Someone's asking, what steps has the BD team taken in the past year to build relationships or prepare the ground for adoption once the launch happens? And I guess you touched a little bit on the previous question, but if you'd like to add anything extra.
Yeah, I can talk mostly for myself, as when it comes to my colleagues from BD, like they have been doing like a lot of things in the more TradFi legal side of things, and like there is unfortunately a lot of overhead and things to handle when when you touch TradFi, or like it's just it's a kind of worms. So like there is a lot of overhead when it comes to that. When it comes to more DeFi Web3 stuff, there is a good lineup of organizations that are interested in integrating Dusk or launching on Dusk or stuff like this. And so like just ensuring that let's say this conversation happens, that they actually understand the value prop and how Dusk is positioned. They understand also what's happening in the European market when it comes to stocks. They understand a bit more about CSD and stuff like this. And then there is a clear technical roadmap that involves an easy integration with Dusk EVM. Then this is mostly the steps that have been taken in the last months.
Got it. Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Thank you, Luca. That will be the last question. I don't see any more questions in chat, so I guess we can end it there. I just want to say thank you for taking the time to be with us in this week's Team Hangout. We can probably have you in more sessions in the following weeks. Maybe once you can, maybe once we have some proper announcements, and then you can give us some more details on those. But thank you again, and appreciate everyone that joined us today, and also for all the great questions.
Thanks a lot. Have a great day then.
Thank you. Have a good one, guys. See you in the next one.